I hear us talking about the economic fallout and the medical fallout in terms of individual persons. I am not sure that as a community of persons that we're really thinking about the educational fallout. There were 3 weeks where the Ministry of Education tried to help students to recover. And I know by now they would have gotten reports from teachers. Let me speak to you as an educator of 14 years. I did not sign up for the program. I was called by a friend for some assistance. She had 12 students. What's going to happen in September is that children are going to be going up into a new class, and they're going to be going up at so many different levels. It will almost become overwhelming for some teachers, to the point where I think teachers will try their best to do what they can to get children to where they need to be. The best in many instances may just not be enough. Imagine a child in grade 1 whose name is Tyrone, just for example. The child has no issues because I'm a special ed teacher. I was trained, myself and that young lady, we're both trained special ed teachers. The child is not a child who has any issues. However, the pandemic now is forcing him to have a special need because now that child can't remember the letters of his name. He's in grade 1. Because maybe at home, nobody's able to help him. And mommy doesn't remember that she's supposed to be reminding him of his name. So you say to him, show me why. And he looks at you and he remembers O and E because you have a little song that you taught him, so he knows the vowels. But then he can't remember R. Now, when you have that kind of situation in classes, differentiation can be used. But how much differentiation can one teacher really do to get her students at the same level to move up the following year? We may have an educational fallout for years to come as a result of what is happening now. I am not going to be barefaced and suggest to anybody that they vaccinate if they feel that they don't want to. What I will suggest to them, however, is that they stay put and help us to get our numbers down. It is not in our best interest as educators, myself, being a diabetic. I have something on my face that just is not healing. And I don't think it's safe for me to be out there. A lot of our teachers have non-communicable diseases. Teaching is a very stressful job. Any woman that goes into teaching will tell you that maybe the first or second month after her beginning to teach, her cycle changes in dramatic ways that you can't even understand because you're men of course. I'm sure your wives will tell you what stress does to your body. When you, as a teacher, see that first instance of stress, so our bodies change a lot. And a lot of teachers have hypertension, diabetes. We need the community to understand that our students are going to suffer tremendously if we don't get it together soon. And I know that in a lot of instances, we're just looking at the CXCs for now and seeing, okay, well, a child who probably would have had the potential to get several subjects got 4 or 5. I am seeing down the line when we have students who are going to go to grade 6, the literacy level will have a significant difference in our literacy rate. Based on what I saw in that school, talking to my colleagues, people who are capable and confident, having conversations daily with teachers, I am suggesting to you that if we don't get it together so that we can open back schools face to face, our students are going to suffer tremendously. They would have been out of school for what, almost 18 months? And we have homes in Antigua. We're taking for granted that every home has a book. I have met students in my profession, in my career, who don't even have a Bible in their homes. Nothing to read. There are children whose parents will not have any laptops or anything. They're not going to go online. The only line that will do, and listen, socialization is a very important part of education. You see that thing where we had children just sitting down in classes, far from each other, telling them not to touch and put in our mask? I want to suggest that does not work. Because the man who is going to learn to be cunning and figure out how to get around something is going to learn it from his friend. He's going to learn it on the field. A man who's going to learn angles is going to learn it playing marbles. That is where children learn best. We teach them little things in school, in class, and then they learn how to use those things out on the play field, like in the real world. That is what children learn.
Okay.